Thank you very much, Alice, for the introduction. I'm humbled by what you said about me and my profile. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Parik Trivedi. My name is Parikshit Trivedi, but known in East Africa as Parik Trivedi. I came to Kenya about 24 years ago, and after working in senior leadership roles in the private manufacturing sector across various industries like packaging, FMCG, I was the head of sales and distribution at Bitco Africa, and in the water tank manufacturing and building construction industry. I transitioned into my own self employment by registering my company earlier in 2018, but full time solopreneur since January 2023. I found a gap in the East African market, especially in the Kenyan market, which is my home country now. Despite the fact that the birth country is India, the home country is now transformed into Kenya. So I saw a gap in the East African market of affordable management consulting and soft skills training area. And that's the reason I ventured into self employment. So I'm a business strategist with over 40 years of experience in uh, the industry, work experience. Core competency is sales, marketing, and distribution, evolved into general management skills through experience and knowledge. My last employment was a CEO for a manufacturing company employing 200 people plus, and I'm the one of the uh, unique CEOs. I'm not boasting, but just a fact that who's a non-technical person in a manufacturing industry. Usually now there's old school of thought, new school of thought. So that is what the transformation I've capitalized on. So I will that with that in introduction, let's jump straight into the topic of negotiation skills, which is there today. On the slide on the screen, you see Alisa coaching. As she rightly mentioned, it's a world of collaboration. So I have not put my logo, I put Alisa coaching. So before I start some ground rules, you can, I'm not able to see the Zoom raising the hand. I'm not that tech savvy. But in case people who are shy, somebody can intervene. Cynthia, you can, in the Q&A session,
Yeah,
those
we are
who,
doing the back end. Don't worry, Parik.
very good, good. So today's topic is negotiation skills. Yeah.
Excuse me, Parik. Just use the presenter mode. You will see on the bottom right. On the
On the
bottom
bottom,
right. Yeah, there's an
present
icon. The first icon on the bottom right. Look, not the first one. The fourth icon on the bottom right.
on the
Where you
Zoom
see
on the Zoom screen.
on your screen right now, where you see notes, and there's do you see notes on the far bottom right? Just below
Yeah.
there, where your cursor is. You
Yes.
see notes, and then yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So I'll skip the agenda because we will be covering the agenda. But the problem is the slides are not moving in the presentation mode. So I'll escape and then switch to presentation mode while I move to the next slide. Yeah.
You can use the arrows on your laptop to move the slides.
Okay. So we negotiate with bankers, clients, suppliers, and customers, management and employees. We negotiate with mergers and acquisition scenarios. Negotiation happens between franchisee, aspirants, distributors with the principal companies. Stages in negotiation, very important. Preparation, the most important preparation, because a well crafted preparation will make the flow easier and negotiation to be successful. It follows with discussions, proposals. I would replace the word bargaining with negotiation again. Yeah. Bargaining is a traditional word, negotiation is the modern management terminology. And then when the negotiation is successful, it transforms into agreement and we conclude. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? Great.
Yes. Yeah.
So now you see a bar with a, there are There's a concept and case. What is negotiation? Negotiation is pivoted around two concepts called BATNA and ZOPA. I would invite the audience. I'm more interested in the session being interactive. So anybody who knows what's the meaning of BATNA and ZOPA without Googling? Okay, so BATNA means best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It's a fallback plan if the current negotiation fails. It's the most advantageous alternative that a party can take if negotiations break down. So I propose something, but at the back of the mind, I have a figure or a volume or whatever it is the negotiation about, a figure which is acceptable to me. That is the BATNA. Okay. It gives us a leverage and confidence in negotiations. So this is to be known as the preparatory stage. You should know your BATNA at the preparation stage. ZOPA, zone of possible agreement. What is the zone of possible agreement? It's the initial offer the negotiators have in their mind that this is what I'm going to pitch as my figure, be it a price, be it whatever. Yeah, is a range within which a preferred agreement can be reached by both parties. It's an overlap between each party's acceptable outcomes. So ZOPA is the first figure which is disclosed by each party or multiple parties who are in the negotiation stage. We see a recommended retail price and we always see a selling price. So selling price is not a written word or it's not verbally disclosed in the first part of the conversation. So ZOPA is the actually recommended price, what the seller wants to quote as a price to move further into the or kick start the negotiation stage. It helps negotiation identify whether there is a potential for agreement and where compromises can be made. So knowing your BATNA and understanding the ZOPA are key to negotiating effectively and achieving mutually beneficial agreements. So I'll open the floor now again to be making it more interactive. ZOPA is something, zone of preferred agreement. It's the first quoted number, be it value or a figure or a volume, to kickstart the negotiation. Whereas BATNA is each party has a mind, a volume or a value figure in the mind at which they can compromise, come down so that we progress towards closing the negotiation deal positively and shake hands and sign the agreement on conclusion of the negotiation. I can see something in the chat. Yes, let me open. Okay, Lauren, thank you for your comment in the chat. How to pivot back to the, yeah. So is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, Parikh.
So in essence, knowing your BATNA and understanding the ZOPA are key to negotiating effectively and achieving mutually beneficial agreements. Now let's go deep dive into what it is. So negotiation styles. This will show you the various negotiation styles which are available during the negotiation stages. I use various styles depending on the situation. So it is not necessary that when you begin with a particular style in mind. You pivot or you flow yourself between various styles depending on the situation, and it has to be decided on the spot whether to avoid, collaborate, compromise, accommodate, or compete. Competing is, as the word is self-explanatory, it is more of the FIFA World Cup style. So it's a style which is self-explanatory. I'll make it short and sweet because I'll be definitely sharing the presentation with Alice. So she and her team can share it with the participants who have registered today. It's aggressive in nature. Obviously, the name itself is self-explanatory. Limited information sharing because you want to be competitive. So the more information you hold, the more competitive advantage the individual possesses. It has a fixed pie perception, and this style is adopted when high stakes are involved for the negotiation topic in question. So, what is the high initial offer on demand to anchor the negotiation in their favor? Now, setting a high initial offer, I am requesting the audience to speak up. Is it a BATNA or it is a ZOPA? So that I can be confident that you have understood the terminology of BATNA and ZOPA. It's very important in the negotiation skills to understand the meaning of BATNA and ZOPA. So setting a high initial offer is a BATNA or a ZOPA?
But no,
Oh, okay, BATNA. It's a ZOPA.
that's me.
It's a ZOPA because
It's a
zone of ZOPA. It's a ZOPA because zone of preferred agreement. Okay. BATNA as the name, as the abbreviation, full form is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So ZOPA is a preferred price. So setting a high initial price is a BATNA. Are we together? So it's a ZOPA. So anchoring is a ZOPA followed by making concessions, making small strategic concessions while expecting significant concession from other party. Deadlines and pressure, using time constraint and pressure to force the other party to making concessions. So compete style advantages are it can result in negotiators securing the best possible deal for themselves. This is as disadvantages damage the relationship. It is more aggressive in nature than mutual in nature. Aggressive approach can lead to increased tension and can result in conflict during the negotiation. It is more pivoted towards short-term focus than long-term collaboration or relationships. As earlier mentioned, it's used in high-stakes negotiation, one-time transaction where it's high capital equipment. So you sell it, forget it, close the deal and move on. Limited resources are available. Example scenario. A business owner negotiating the purchase price of a valuable piece of equipment. It's mostly used in capital goods buying and purchasing. Now we go to accommodate. As the word is self-explanatory, it's characterized by prioritizing the relationship and harmony over the outcome of the negotiation. This approach involves yielding to the other party's demands and making concessions to ensure the other party feels valued and satisfied. What are the key characteristics? High cooperation, low assertiveness. Unlike the compete style, assertiveness is toned down. It's more relationship and long-term oriented. And flexibility. So I would like to elaborate on listening and understanding. Human nature has given human beings 2 ears and 1 mouth. So you listen twice than what you speak. So listening is very key during negotiation skills. It gives you time to think, use your subconscious mind to prepare for the response. Accommodative style allows concessions. It avoids conflict. It creates a bridge of a business relationship coming closer, so which avoids naturally conflict. That is what brings two professionals closer in the negotiation stage, and it builds trust because you are giving the vibes of being a good listener. It preserves long-term relationship or fosters, reduces conflicts, encourages reciprocity, reciprocation. So if I take one step forward, it will provoke the other person to take a step forward so that the negotiation process continues positively in the positive direction. These are the pitfalls, the disadvantages. So when to use the negotiation style of accommodating? Relationship priority. When maintaining a positive relationship is more important than the specific outcome of the negotiation. It prepares the bridge of a long-term relationship. Low stake negotiations, where one can absorb in case the negotiation for one party is unfavorable. I'll give you an example at this stage. Worst case scenario. So always along with your BATNA and ZOPA, your BATNA is supposed to be figured out based on the worst case scenario. Imbalance of power. I've given an example here. I will not read it out because of the time constraint. It's a 60-slide presentation. So I will condense it to, that's why I revealed that I will share the presentation so that the audience can go through it in detail. Now, accommodative negotiation style. Overall, the accommodative negotiation style can be effective in fostering positive relationships. Avoid, again, a self-explanatory word. When you want to buy time, you avoid. Yeah. In the negotiation scenario, the avoid style is I adopt to buy time. Buy time to either consult a senior or stakeholders within the business, or to give time to myself to think over. Because if the time period is time bound, and obviously all meetings are time bound and agenda driven, so use this negotiation style to buy time, either to consult if it is beyond your authority matrix. As I say, every organogram has an authority matrix. So once it goes beyond that, you can use the avoid style, and mentioning very clearly is beyond my authority matrix. Allow me to consult my seniors and get back to you. So of course, your assertiveness is toned down, low cooperativeness because you are not given the immediate answer. Non-confrontational, obviously, you're neither saying no nor you're saying yes. And obviously, postponement, as I mentioned earlier. Allow me to get back to you. So completely withdrawing from the negotiation or walking away from the discussion, I would not say that, but I would say it's a style to stall the progress of the negotiation or give a breather to the negotiation, to postpone it. It gives us time for reflection. It gives us time for cooling down. Low priority issues where useful for addressing minor issues that are not worth the effort or potential conflict. Disadvantages, the conclusion doesn't happen immediately. It is perceived as a weakness and perceived as well as a missed opportunity. Now, those who are leaders in negotiation, despite the fact that I adopt avoid style in high stakes negotiation, not in low stakes negotiation, because in low stake you can always take the risk, worst case scenario. I'll give an example. Somebody asks for a loan of say Kenyan shilling 50,000 when my income itself is 100,000. I'm putting at stake my food, clothing, and shelter. So one way of negotiating and without disrupting the relationship of the borrower, I would say I cannot give you 50,000, but I can lend you 5,000. You find 9 other persons who are able to give you another 5,000. Your immediate exigency will be addressed. So what is happening is I am suggesting something in the negotiation which takes care of my worst case scenario. Despite me not getting the 5,000 on time, it will not impact my food, clothing, and shelter. The other person is given a solution. Find 9 other persons. So this is a way of negotiation, style of negotiation. So here's a example scenario which you will get it in your presentation, which will be shared by Alicer Coaching. Compromise. Now, any comments on difference between compromise and other ones? Accommodative. I want it to be interactive. Use the chat box, please. A middle ground. That's compromising, yeah? A win-win situation. As the graphic on the right of the screen is visible to all of us. It focuses on achieving a solution that is acceptable to both sides, though it may not fully satisfy either party. But they want to move on and build a bridge for long-term relationship. So this style deploys moderate assertiveness, moderate cooperativeness, mutual concessions. It's not one-sided. It has to be both the side concessions. And a middle ground is arrived at. So your partner should incorporate identifying common ground. If you are knowing that you'll have to adopt a compromise style of negotiation, then partner should have the common ground in mind. To what extent will you make concessions? To what extent balancing interest? And this can be known balancing interest. Can you see my cursor, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
Yeah. So balancing interest, so that is at the preparation stage. You have to do some homework before we enter the negotiation table. Because knowing the interest of the other party, not 100%, but at least between 60 to 80% will help us in getting the compromise negotiation style concluded into an agreement. Offering trade-offs. We all know what trade-offs are. Cynthia, you will raise the flag when I am taking a longer time. Yeah, please.
No problem.
Thank you for that. The advantage is it results into quick resolution. You move further. Faster agreements when time is a crucial factor. Fairness is a win-win situation and maintains relationship. Unlike the compete style where we know the relationship is one time, high stakes, a high ticket value, and you close the deal. Obviously, disadvantages, suboptimal outcomes, temporary but futuristic, I would add. It encourages splitting differences. So as the graphic displays, a balanced approach. When to use the compromise style? When time is a constraint, a balanced power dynamic situation, both in term business-wise power, leadership styles power, revenue, profitability. It's a balanced approach. Moderate stakes and ongoing relationships, so that you can use the next time. It's an ongoing relationship. You can deploy another style of negotiation and compensate for the compromise you have made in the current scenario. Example, two colleagues negotiating on allocation of a shared budget for their respective projects. Both have valid reason for needing a larger portion of the budget. Using the compromise style, they agree to split the budget equally, giving up a portion of their initial request. While neither gets the full amount they wanted, both can move forward with their projects and their working relationship remains positive. Now, why are colleagues? Because colleagues are working in the past, working presently together, and have to work together in the future. So, relationship based. So, instead of reading from left to right, move from right to left. What is the goal? Based on that, you will deploy the style and the tactic. So obviously win-win situation, yeah, as I mentioned earlier. It's time consuming, definitely. It requires willingness to collaborate. Now, this has to be determined at the preparatory stage, because you need to know the profile. Otherwise, it will be a failure. The style adopted will not be concluded as a positive outcome, which is an agreement. It has the risk of over compromise. It's used when long-term relationships are to be maintained, complex problems, but high stakes issues. But high stakes also is there in compete style. But when long-term relationship is involved, despite the high stake, you have to adopt the collaborative style. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes.
And we are interdependent as parties. Maybe in the future we may get referral business. We may collaborate for some other business venture. If you're expanding your verticals in your professional work, that is when you compromise and deploy collaborative style in conjunction with the compromise style. So with that, we have covered these 5 styles of negotiation. There are multi-party negotiations, time-bound relationship and conflicts are involved, money is involved. I'll give a case study and then I'll open the door for Q&A. Are we on time, Cynthia?
Yeah, we are good. We are good.
So Tata is a company, they have presence in Africa, including East Africa, including Kenya, including Nairobi. Yeah. Tata Vehicles, Tata IT division launched the first iTex portal when KRA decided to go digital in the year 2017, 2018. So Bisleri is a mineral water brand. So Tata wanted to acquire the brand and they sat on the negotiation table. So what happened? It did not go through. Why? Lack of preparation from the Bisleri side. The mineral water company were not prepared, were very conservative in disclosing the figures of valuation of the company, etc., etc. So transparency is very much required. Otherwise, the negotiation will fail. So both were giants in their own field. But Bisleri wanted to sell out because lack of succession plan in the family business. So that is the reason it failed. You can Google once you get the presentation to know deeper why the negotiation failed. On the other hand, Disney and Lucasfilm. Can everybody speak out which is the brand of Lucasfilm which was most popular? An early television serial, Star Wars. Do you remember the Star Wars? No.
Yeah.
Star Wars, yeah, science fiction, yeah. So Disney, we know the owners of Mickey Mouse brand, right? Entertainment and cartoon company. So Lucasfilm was bought out by Disney. Why were they able to buy out? Because Lucasfilm had the valuation of the company done by professional valuers. They had the P&L, the balance sheet, everything disclosed openly, keeping trust because the other buyer also was a stalwart in their industry. So patience as a virtue and adopting the collaborative agreement and trust, a foundation of successful negotiation was concluded. And successfully, what price Lucas demanded and what Disney had as a partner, the negotiation succeeded. Now, why did it succeed? Trust. Very good preparation by both. More so by Bisleri. They prepared well, professionally qualified valuation company to determine and document the value of the company. So when they quoted the price, they had the statistics as a backup by a professional valuation company. So preparation was very good, transparency was there, and the agreement and the sellout was successful. So this you'll be able to get it when it had a strong partner. Now here is what is important. Strong partner is very important because Lucas is buying, so they have the upper hand. No succession plan. So Bisleri is a mineral water brand with no succession plan. They wanted to get the best, and the buyer is the best because another conglomerate was ready to buy. And having even compromising on the partner will ensure that the money will come on time and the sellout is successful to the selling party. So strong partner is very important. So knowing the Zopa and Batna of the individual as well as determining or estimating the Zopa and Batna of the other party is also very important for the negotiation to be successful. So value to me is the y-axis, x-axis value to the other party. It starts from here and ends at a middle ground. And that is when it becomes successful. Anchoring bias, I will share it as a PDF with Alistair coaching so that it is shared with the participants. So I will just explain what is anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is negotiation is the cognitive tendency to give disproportionate weight to the first number or offer presented, which then shapes all subsequent judgments and counteroffers. It often skews outcomes because negotiations unconsciously adjust around that initial anchor, even when it's arbitrary or extreme. A detailed note will be shared as a PDF document elaborating this with examples when I will mail the PPT to the parent. Now, can anybody give me an example of what is the anchoring bias in our day-to-day life? Okay, I'll give an example. Let me take that initiative. Before the expressway was constructed, it was only Uru Highway. So I started my career 24 years ago. I was driving a small Toyota car. You have those in the traffic jam, they come with steering wheel covers, they come with mobile chargers. So when they see a small car, so the first price quoted for a mobile charger, a saloon car mobile charger, maybe they start with 750 shillings. Whereas if I would have been in a RAV4, it would have been 1500 shilling. If I would be sitting in a Land Cruiser, it would have been quoted as a 2500 shilling car charger for the mobile phone. That is what is anchoring bias. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Same thing happens in the Masai market. Yeah, am I right or wrong?
Yeah, it does.
Right. Very right.
So that is what is called anchoring bias, and the more detailed note will be shared with the participants today in 48 hours by Alyssa Consulting. So what is important in negotiation? Critical thinking, and various components are you have to do your research to be well prepared. All these are stages or skills required to be a good negotiator. And these are the books which you should read if you want to be a good negotiator. So negotiation is a very important skill because it covers communication, it covers critical thinking, it covers analytical skills as a soft skill, it covers body language during the negotiation stage. So these books will give you how to harness your negotiation skills, addressing the weaker spots of the other soft skills which go into being a good negotiator. So with 15 minutes left to the end of the session, I now hand over to Alice and Cynthia to comment.
Wow, great, great, great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Parik. I can tell you had quite a lot. It felt like you had been rushed, but it's quite interesting. You know, many times when you hear the term negotiation skills, what comes to mind is, you know, it's just one thing or one way of doing it. But to see the many different types of negotiating that you can do, that was quite eye-opening. For me, the one that I have loved more, of course, I love collaboration, I love the negotiation, but I liked the one, what I found a bit, not really liking, but the one that I found interesting is, what did you call it? Abu, just go back. There is one that you
Let me go to the presentation.
in my head. Yes. Up, those very first ones.
Batna and Zopa.
No. Partner Zopa, that one is quite good. Forget the avoid, I could understand, accommodate, yes. There was one, the name is just slipping off. I guess I am tired. Compete. That's where I was actually not thinking that was a negotiation skill. I was thinking, compete. I didn't think it was a negotiation skill. Yeah, so that is something that I have picked today, and I'm actually happy to see that it's also a style that you can use. Maybe for me, I'm not very competitive. That's why I never thought it is a negotiation skill. But it's good. Thank you. I have loved that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm. Maybe there is a question. I don't know whether there is a question or a comment from the rest of the members. We can take a few questions.
Sure.
There
I
is
would
one
love.
on the
I
chat.
would love to. Yeah.
Yes, there is one on the chat, Lorraine.
Lauren is asking, what would you say is the biggest mistake leaders make when negotiating? Wow, interesting one. The biggest mistake leaders make when negotiating is uh, more about not knowing the other person. The mistake they make is impulsive decisions because by their experience, they perceive that making an impulsive decision will definitely tone down the other party, whereas it's the other way down round. The mistake they make is ask a counter question. Why do you think that this is your proposal? So it gives you time to explain why your proposition is supposed to be accepted by the other person. Have I answered your question, Lorraine? Because
Yes, you have.
I believe no one is a born leader. Yeah, we all are managers at one time, and still we have to use managerial skills parallelly with leadership skills. So the mistakes most of the leaders make is they forget the managerial part and they just play the role of a leadership uh, personality. So the mistake they make is ask a question and pivot back to from being a leader to a manager, so that you ask a question and then reasonably skew the negotiation towards your favor. So balancing between managerial style, managerial approach, and leadership approach is very important in negotiation. Yeah, Lauren?
Thank you for that, Parik. Thank you for your response. I think my other question would be now, how can now these leaders negotiate without damaging relationships?
You either adopt a collaborative style or a compromise style. However, keeping in mind whether it is a capital, what is the stakes involved? Yeah. Say a capital equipment. If you're going to recover the cost through after sales service, then you can go a bit down and tone down the compete style to more of one of the other styles. Yeah. Except the avoid style, because either compromise or collaborate style, and then recover with a long-term pipeline to be for the after-sales service. So have a clause in the agreement, in the negotiation document or the negotiated document, that there's a lock-in period of 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, depending on the recovery of the amount compromised, to make it a win-win situation. Have I answered your question, madam?
Yes, thank you. That's well understood. Thank you.
So in my experience, I always use the balance of managerial skills and leadership skills. So during negotiation, you have to always keep in mind when to use your managerial skill set and a leadership skill set. Managerial skill set is more directional, leadership skill set is more participative. Yeah. So you have to maintain a balance between them. When to be directive in approach, assertive in approach, or an approach which gives you to the which takes you towards the middle ground. So always go prepared with a worst case scenario. I give an example of somebody borrowing who's important to you, and without damaging relationship, how to counter offer. Yeah, you're given your stand with a solution to him or her. Then find 9 other persons who can give you 5,000, which will fulfill your requirement of 50,000 Kenyan shillings, which is of emergency to you.
Parik, I think there's one negotiation skill missing from your list,
Please
and
tell
it
me
is
that.
widely used in the country, where
Which one?
you go with a project to a company and they tell you, like, you meet someone or a decision maker who tells you to ensure that they have a certain percentage when the deal goes through, so that they push that project for you.
It is not. I get you. I get you. I get what you're asking is something which we say under the table or whatever. Yeah, correct.
Yes, that one.
So it is accommodative. It's at the preparatory stage. You have to factor all that. Whether you're dealing with a large organization which has no such nuances, whether you're dealing with a parastatal. So at the preparatory stage, you have to determine your Zopa and Batna. So Zopa has to incorporate that factor, and Batna also has to incorporate that factor. So it boils down to Zopa and Batna and doesn't boil down to a negotiation style. Have I answered your question? Because you should know the profile of your other party whom you are negotiating with. And that is what will determine your Zopa and Batna.
Okay.
I hope I've convinced you with my response. If not, you're free to challenge it. It will not, I will not feel antagonistic or otherwise. Yeah.
It's okay. I will take it for now.
No, not now. If not now, then later you reach out to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. More questions, please. We have got another 5 minutes to go. The more the questions, the happier I'll be. So now I'll give an example. Let's take the example of a Mama Boga. Yeah. A classic example of Mama Boga. Volume drives negotiation. Yeah. Correct. And
Yeah.
how to create an impression through negotiation. 1.5 years ago, one of mid-sized companies CEO enrolled himself into my workshop, which I did with collaboration with a tech expert, because I'm not tech qualified and it's a age of AI. So when she was talking on the phone, I had the Zopa circulated to all my prospective attendees, companies or business leaders, yeah, be it small or medium. So that assistant of the CEO told me, hey, you give me a wrong ATR. You know, we had bargained and I think you had negotiated a price of so and so. Then I recollected, yes, I had given a special price. Now, she said we are good at bargaining. A mid-sized company should not use the word bargaining. She should have said, you should have used the word we are good at negotiating. She did not bargain. Bargain is a very loose word and negotiation is a better word. She went and told the CEO, I want a training session from Mr. Parikh because today he has uh, triggered a paradigm shift of my thinking of what is bargaining and what is negotiating. This is also a style of conveying and how to get something out of a person just through communication that you get more business. So it's a negotiation style, maybe a 7th or 8th style, which I've adopted in way of communicating. Yes.
Great.
Somebody.
No, I'm just saying that is profound.
Profound, right?
Eh, that
So
is
you
so profound.
you capitalize on such things, you see. It's a skill, it's a soft skill of how to generate business. So I
Yeah.
provoked a junior person to reach out to the senior that they need that training.
Yeah.
It generated business for me. It added value. And I'm holding a testimonial from the business owner.
Not but not bargaining, but negotiating.
But negotiating. Don't bargain, negotiate.
Great. Great. I think we can stop there. We have 2 minutes. Thank you so much, Parik. I think that was so profound.